Good morning, everyone. Welcome back into North Dakota today. Well, today is National Hat Day, and to celebrate, we're going to take a look at some gorgeous vintage hats. Carrie from Hi Hat Couture is joining us to chat about her business. Welcome.
Hi, good to see you.
Yes, thanks for coming back.
Yeah, I love being here.
Oh, we love having you. You do so many things, but tell us about your hats.
Well, I brought kind of a little variety here. This is actually a hat from Violet Vintage, my neighbor, and the vintage community is very welcoming and everybody supports each other. So I wanted to represent them today.
Nice.
She's a shop in downtown Fargo. This is a late 30s, very early 40s-ish hat, and you can see they were really fun. They're exploding with color. They could be playful. And this is a hat from Carmen and Hayworth Vintage, which is also downtown.
Wow.
And she's much more into like the glam Elizabeth Taylor look here. And these turbans look, and we just discussed this a little bit, they're on the mannequin or stand in your hand, they don't really give the same impact as if you wear them.
Right, but when you think about Elizabeth Taylor in that, come on.
Then it makes sense.
Yeah.
And then in front of us is a early 60s pillbox that's covered in fantastic feathers. I mean, it's outrageous. And what I love about this era was they were so meticulous about adding these combs so that they would just hook into your hair. It would be invisible, and they would stay put because they're so small.
Yes.
That's from my shop, and this is when I restored. It's a early 40s hat, and we did talk about this a little bit earlier too, where in the 40s we see a shift from kind of fun, playful, in some instances, to more of a military look. And that's what I'm wearing today.
Yes, I love it. It's so cool. But obviously influenced by the time and war that was happening at the time, but very stylish.
They still had fun with it.
They did.
Yeah.
They did. I often look at this time period and think, oh, why aren't we fun like this anymore?
Why aren't we
wearing
wear
hats
every day?
feathers on my head.
Well, and that's interesting you say that, because that's really, this was the apex of hats, right?
Yes.
The 30s, 40s, in my opinion, was the moment where they really shone, because women were wearing them as part of their identity, and it was really to represent their mood of the day, who they felt they were, their personality.
Love that.
Yeah, so prior to that, it was mostly to kind of show what status they were.
Oh, interesting.
There was some shifting around with fashion in the Victorian era, where you could just do it for fun and for your personality. But even then, they would have things like more expensive feathers or jewels to prove what status they were. And we definitely see that in the case of military headwear, right? So you can identify who is what by what they wear on their head, right?
That's true. That's true. That's not uncommon of other areas of life either, I guess.
Yeah, so this era came along, and certainly designers do make you seem more important.
Yes.
But overall, women chose hats based on how they felt and what they wanted to represent. Yeah.
I love this. I kind of want, can I try one on?
Yes.
Okay, I don't know if this is like.
You look beautiful.
These are so cool.
Yeah.
Just look at like the craftsmanship on this. Is this wool?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It's wool. And
see, I know things.
Yes, and normally it would have that elastic band that we see here to keep it on your head.
Oh,
I did.
Cool.
I had it. I took it out because I was going to replace it. So unfortunately, so it would stay put.
Okay.
If we.
Yes. This is so fun.
That is really cool. Don't you just feel a little extra?
I feel a little bit more sophisticated, you know, a little bit more dressed up. I love this.
And can I just say, I want to say, because there's a lot of women and men that say I'm not a hat person. When I did this full time, which I don't now, but at the time that was the #1 thing people would say. Like, hats are not for me, and I just don't have a hat head. I don't have a hat face, but you just haven't found the right hat.
Yep.
There's so many kinds.
Yeah, that's true. The style, all of that makes a difference. I know I joke because I have a large noggin, so hats often don't fit me. But if you find the right style, there's some hats that I'm like, oh, this is great on me. Yeah, you just got to keep looking around.
And how does it make you feel? That's the thing.
Right. Yes, like when you put that on, it was like, hello.
I felt just, you know, fancy all of a sudden. A little fancy on North Dakota today.
I love it.
Perfect. So where do you source your hats from?
For myself, I've been doing this for 12 years now. I used to do it full time, so I have a lot of contacts. people go through phases where they'll collect a certain era and then they want to liquidate their collection. They all kind of know me around the world at this point, just because that community is pretty niche-y. There's not many of us that just deal with the vintage hats. So because of that, I get people approaching me. I also go to auctions, garage sales. Other vintage sellers know that I specialize in hats. So if they find some pieces that they know are going to sit on their floor, they will contact me and sell me those pieces at a nice, reasonable cost. So,
Nice.
I love that. And where can folks at home find out more information about High Hat Couture?
So my shop is highhatcouture.com. You can find it just by Googling that name and going to that. It's an Etsy. So if you go on Etsy and you say hats, I'm one of the first people that pop up vintage hats. Cool. But you can also type in the name.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Carrie, for bringing these on, and happy
Thank
National
you.
Hat Day.
Thank you. You too.
Hashtag women who wear hats. Right?
Yes, that's right.
I love that. All right, everyone, stick around. We have more North Dakota Today coming up after the break.